It's no huddle time. We are not huddling and we are not scoring the segment, but we do have brand new video of Travis Kelce. Skinny now. He's on that Luca diet, eating vegetables. What's KC's number one concern headed into the season?
Shout out Kelce showing up for minicamp, and shout out Trey Smith, who hasn't gotten the contract he wanted, still showing up for minicamp. It's what you do when you're the most successful team in the NFL over the last decade. Can we have an excellent running game? Ever? Just once. I'd like it.
So
how about
Pacheco,
this?
Is he
Well, I thought Pacheco could be that last year. Pacheco was a great story as a seventh rounder and was really, overachiever great. Broke his leg, so you can't hold that against him. And then when he came back, he fought to come back because they were going for a three-peat, and he just wasn't quite the same. Only the New York Jets have a longer streak of not having a 1,000-yard rusher. Mahomes is leading, since Mahomes has been there, the Chiefs' leading rusher has had less than 930 yards every year and less than 600 yards three times, so the average of 740. So I know I shouldn't say I know what everyone's going to say because Brew might be saying it. But I would just like a running game that the other team has to pay attention to because I think that opens more up.
I would argue they've had that. Pacheco, like you said, last year he was under 4 yards a carry. But I don't know, it feels like their running game is fairly effective because even Kareem Hunt, he never broke a 20-yarder, but seemed like he was playing pretty well for him. But I'm going to go with the offensive line and the tackles. Jalen Moore, been a really good backup for the Niners for 4 years. So is he a full-time starter? Can he excel as a full-time starter? And then the penalty monger.
Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, last year he signed for second in penalties. Year before that he leaves the league. He's actually pretty decent when he's not jumping off sides, I think that the offensive line is the biggest question.
I also wonder if Jalen Moore is going to be the starting left tackle or not. Because they signed him, but then they drafted Josh Simmons, a ton of the draft experts thought Josh Simmons, going into his final year at Ohio State, was the number one tackle in the class. He had a major knee injury, and that some teams basically medical red flagged him. You know what I mean? Too big of a concern. But if he is that guy, he could be, that could be a huge.
Do you have all of the bets, the futures bets memorized for the Chiefs yet or no?
Most of them probably.
I think Skinny Kelce is going to have a big red zone season. It was so strange that he wasn't targeted or maybe just blanketed or maybe lost a step. I'm Hubs. Put me in on that. Call your guy.
I think that our guy's DraftKings. We can just text him. I think it's going to be less about skinny or not skinny, and more about not carrying the weight of trying to do the three-peat, and having actual vertical threats that the defense has to pay attention to that opens up the middle of the field.
Do you think you worried at all about legal concerns about Rashid?
Well, listen,
that's a huge.
No, it's really weird. A year ago, I assumed Rashid Rice was facing on the lowest end 2 and on the highest end 8-game suspension. Maybe, but the NFL's clearly not going to do anything until it is resolved in the courts, and it's still not resolved in the courts. So I don't know, but I would assume at some point Rashid Rice is probably getting suspended for a few games.
Next up, the Ravens. Drew, always your favorite team. Lamar, looking great. Co-favorites to win the AFC. This is justified in your mind, correct?
Look, I think the Chiefs, have earned kind of the right to be the favorite in the AFC. But I wonder, and you know Vegas much better than me, Nick, are they looking at it like they're not getting to the Super Bowl 4 straight years? You know what I mean? It's only happened once, and it was the Bills, and they lost every year. Now, the Chiefs losing last year probably actually may help their chances of getting back for a 4th Super Bowl. But I think they rightfully can be the favorites. But if you want to say, okay, they're not getting there 4 times, is somebody else? They got the Bills and the Ravens tied, right? Co-favorites. I'm with that. I would go with the Ravens over the Bills. Obviously, they lost to them last year in the playoffs. But I just look, the defense improved as the year went on. I would think it's going to be better this year. Obviously, offensively, you've got all the positions covered. I love the Ravens' chances this year.
I love the Ravens' chances to be the 1 seed, maybe. I love the Ravens' chances to be all the analytics crowd favorite team. I love the Ravens' chances to have an amazing regular season. Lamar's been there a long time. And this is not just about Lamar, by the way. They have beaten in the playoffs the Titans quarterbacked by Ryan Tannehill, the Texans quarterbacked by rookie C.J. Stroud, and the Steelers quarterbacked by Russell Wilson. They have lost in the playoffs to the Titans quarterbacked by Ryan Tannehill, and Phillip Rivers, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen twice, and Patrick Mahomes. I need to see the Baltimore Ravens one time beat a team in their weight class in the playoffs before I think they're going to beat 2 or 3 of them in the playoffs. They obviously have the talent. I don't necessarily love their head coach at this point. But I do like their head coach. And Lamar did get some of the monkeys off his back last year, so I respect all that. But it's a pretty decent sample of whenever it's a fair fight in the playoffs, they come out on the short end of it.
All right, let's check out the Rams, who are having minicamp in Hawaii.
Wow.
That's nice.
They're fun.
Yeah. Are you buying L.A. as legit Super Bowl contenders?
Well, you guys know there was a long flirtation last year. It's too early to start right now. Because my heart was broken at the 12-yard line, down 6, because could have gotten them to the Super Bowl and the Chiefs a three-peat. But with that said, I'm staring at them as an NFC pick again. I liked their offseason, a little last ride for Staffordish. I think McVay is, with respect to your guy Nick Sirianni, I think he's the best coach in the NFC. And, yeah, I am buying them absolutely as very legitimate Super Bowl contenders.
I have them as secondary contenders.
Oh.
And really only because I think the NFC is full of a lot of contenders. Philadelphia is going to have their hands full just getting back to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
We know it's hard to do. I do think on paper Philly looks like the best team, clearly. But Detroit, Washington, Green Bay, San Francisco, I put the Rams in the back tier of that group. I mean, I do think they're contenders, but secondary contenders.
Do you think they're behind Washington?
That's what I was going to say. I'm surprised. A little Washington.
Yeah, I think Washington's had a great offseason.
That is true.
And
They've addressed the offensive line.
Now, obviously, the sophomore slump is always a possibility, but yeah, they had a great offseason. And look, Stafford hadn't thrown for 4,000 yards in the last 3 years. I know 3 years ago he was injured for most of the season or half the season, but he's 37. Everybody's not going to be Tom Brady. So I think that's the question.
I'm interested to see if Devontae makes Puka an even better wide receiver. I think Puka was PFF's #1 rated wide receiver last year.
Puka's great.
Well,
he got hurt too.
PFF to their credit, but it also can be, I think, it's not misleading, but confusing some people. They really care at all positions, but receiver included, how good you block. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so Puka is such a better blocker than most teams' #1 receiver.
Meanwhile, the Giants, Russ, little Jackson Dart action, and what looks to be a great defensive line. Nick, are you buying New York as a potential sleeper?
A lot of my fundamentals say I have to, but gosh, I don't want to. So the fundamentals are they have half of or 2/3 of what the Raiders have going for them, which is they go from horrific quarterback situation to better. It's not as big of an upgrade as Raiders, obviously. Last place schedule, and very low expectations. The problem is,
I was looking at the Jackson Dart Tommy DeVito celebration.
The problem for that, Brew, and the reason why I'm going to say no is I'm not actually sure they're going to be better at quarterback because they might go Dart over Russ as a developmental play. You know what I mean? In which case...
Well, remember, Dable, they got to have a good season.
I know. And so I'm going to say a soft no. Not a hard no, but a soft no.
I'm a very hard no.
What's up, KW?
I mean, can we just run the video again? Because I just have to be honest with you guys. You know, as you're digging into
vibes, King.
the vibes here.
I wasn't really watching the video.
Let me
Watch
see
the video. I
see
know you
the
were
vibe.
giving hardcore analysis. We all have our roles. I'm vibes guy.
Yeah.
Okay. The vibes here between Tommy DeVito and Jackson Dart. I don't know what they're doing there, playing the guitar. Then Jameis comes over. Jackson Dart throws a running little jump pass. The vibes are jumping off the screen here.
Well, it's the first
the
day.
vibes are certainly telling you,
everybody
watch
likes
this
the
pass from
first day of
Jackson
school.
Dart. I'm just telling you, this hit the something from the something or nothing
That's a
radar.
stunning pass.
That is something. Now watch the vibes.
Let me tell you something.
Guys,
you know
the
what?
vibes are screaming sleeper.
You know what's gonna both.
Look at Jameis.
Both of you apparently did not check it. Now Jameis always brings good vibes, but
It's day one. When do they work on that?
apparently neither of
Have
you
anything
guys
with you
checked
guys?
this out.
God just got here.
This will override the vibes. I guarantee you're gonna be like, oh, yeah, it's a fourth-place schedule. We know the division's gonna be tough. All the other the Cowboys are gonna be, they're gonna be pretty good. So you got those three teams in your division. You got the AFC West.
It's not great.
Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and Nick thinks the Raiders gonna be good. Then you got the NFC North. Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago.
That's not great.
These are your three teams outside of that. New Orleans, okay.
That's a win.
New England, okay.
No, not okay.
San Francisco.
Oh, 'cause
so
we
I'm
got the
looking
last
at this. I'm like, okay, New Orleans and New England. And I know
But
it's how the
they-
Raiders is Nick.
flip
Their
side,
schedule's a monster.
But they
That's a good point.
might have the best D-line in football.
The defense could be good, but
Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and Lawrence Taylor Carter. They might have the best.
I'll be honest with
Defense
you.
could
Brew,
be
you
good.
called that one.
Right.
And once I heard that, I was like, oh,
why don't you reinstitute points for this segment? Thank you.
you 1-0. Or Brew wins it. Are we even doing the Seahawks? Or
Yeah,
no?
we got 90 seconds. Let's
we got
do it.
90 seconds to go out to Seattle.
Knicks guy.
Oh, 14. You know what that is? 14 wins last year. 4,000 yards for Sam Darnold. Look at Cooper Kupp, shaved his beard. He's looking good, too.
Cup's like, my goodness. I went from Matthew Stafford
To Sam Darnold. That's right. Is there a chance Seattle regrets their offseason
Yeah,
move?
I don't get it. I don't understand moving on from Geno for a worse quarterback that's just as expensive. I don't get it.
Sam Darnold can ball.
So you like their offseason.
I like Cooper because I like Cooper Kupp, and I like Sam Darnold.
You got in Jigba.
Why don't you like Cooper Kupp?
Cup's just injured a lot.
I just think I think his time has passed.
Yeah, we'll see.
I agree with Nick, and he's the Geno guy, but Geno's better than Darnold.
Thank you.
I mean,
They're
Darnold was
on the
phenomenal.
same- they're
no, they're not.
literally the
Darnold's
same
done it
player.
1 year.
Thank you, bro.
1 year. Geno's done it, what, 2, 3 now?
Well, this is
Where
year
he's
2
been
of him
pretty
doing
good.
it.
Really?
but he
he
They
ain't
both got
doing it
drafted
yet.
by the Jets. They're both careers stalled out. They both went to new teams and then played
Geno's
well.
done it longer.
I know, but Geno had a longer runway of doing nothing. And then he popped
Hold on, he couldn't have had a longer. Oh, I see what.
of doing nothing.
Yeah,
I'm not
Of just
convinced.
being kind
I
of in
will
the
have
wilderness.
to see it to believe it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's only done it 1 year,
I'm
but
just-
this is year 2.
They put Geno with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson. Oh my.
Not everyone can get out there. We'll see how J.J. McCarthy does.
Like,
J.J. 4,000 yards.
I'm
and
not a
14
J.J.
wins?
McCarthy guy necessarily.
sound like it.
He just has a firm handshake. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.